Angeline, and I have a problem. I have a problem with paper scraps. I behave myself much better than I used to, but this old habit isn't easy to kick, and I still end up with situations like this here and there. Now, don't be ashamed. You are among friends. Tell us in the comments what your scrap situation is. How itty-bitty does a morsel have to be before you'll let it go? And you know, it's not just cardstock for me, it's also backgrounds. I especially love to save these when they don't make the original cut for a project. Some of these are probably older than my MC Hammer pants. And we're going to do something about it right now. It's scrap busting time. I'm starting this beat down with a little 1-2 punch, and you can use dies, of course, if you'd like. These little ones here in the center of the nesting set would be great, but that might take a hot little minute, so I'm going to stick with a punch this time. The one I'm using is a heart, but you can get as funky as you'd like. Flowers, stars, circles, leaves. There's so many variations that could be done. Just go to town, punch everything out, and get as much of the meat off the bone as you see fit until you're finally satisfied enough to let those scraps go. Alright, I have all my hearts punched, so it's time to select a background. If you don't have a pile like I do, just use plain white cardstock or pattern paper, but I'm on a mission to use these scraps. I really like this one. It's left over from the SBC Fest class I taught back in March. If you missed it or want a recap on how I created the background, there's a link to that video in the description box. Now the card base I'm working with on this one is a top folding A2, and I'd really like to see if I can finagle 2 cards from this one panel. I'm taking the largest die in this A2 nesting set, and then not the next one smaller, but one more in. So I'll create a frame with a center panel I can use on a second card. To ensure my dies don't move during cutting, I'll secure it a little bit here with some mint tape. I like this tape because it's not going to tear or lift up any of that pretty ink and splatter that I have on here. This just needs a quick run through the die cutting machine and I'll be ready to roll with the frame. Oh, if you're wondering about this, I wrote "do not cut" on some washi here to remind myself this is the top cutting plate to keep it nice and smooth, as not to inadvertently emboss old cutting marks onto my cardstock. Okay, now I have the frame and a matte layer ready to create 2 A2 cards. I'll pull my punched hearts back in and arrange in kind of a gradient pattern, and then on the other one I'll just do solid white hearts. I do need to lay it all out just to see how many are going to fit nicely. If you're feeling extra fancy, you could die cut heart windows and you'd have yet a 3rd card to make from this one panel. I'm the kind of person who runs into the wall walking down a straight hallway, so I need to use a pencil to lightly mark the center and then to the left and right an inch. Then I'll rotate it and mark the center, giving me a bullseye to place that first heart smack in the middle. I'll use just a little bit of adhesive because I want to keep things somewhat repositionable until I'm done and ready to commit to this layout. Okay, once I have all the hearts lined up, I think I'd like to add a line of stitching straight down through the middle of each row. Then I won't even need any more adhesive and I can fluff up each of the little wings for extra spunk. You don't have to do this. You could just glue them down, keeping the adhesive in the middle, and once it dries, you'll still be able to fluff the wings if you want that look. You can see here from the side profile how yummy it's starting to look. Okay, this panel is ready. I'll flip it on over, add a few foam strips because I don't already have enough dimension happening. For the frame, I'm keeping it flat by using double-sided tape. Now, if you've ever tried to apply a skinny little piece like this to a card base, you know it has a tendency to really get stuck not exactly where you wanted it. So for this, I like to take my Misti and place a tacky mat down, ensuring it's pushed into the corner. I'll take the piece I want to line up face down, also ensuring it's fully in the corner, and press it down so the mat grabs it. Pull off the adhesive backing, line up my card base with the corner, and press it down. If everything was square, it should come out perfectly. Yep, this card is looking good. Now let's head back over to the other card. I think I want stitching around the border. I'm not sure how noticeable it is with all this color going on, but I like it. I need to add foam adhesive to the back and secure it to the card base. Oh wait, I still need to add my hearts. These won't be lined up like the other one, and my card isn't flat anymore because I added that foam adhesive, but maybe I think the Misti and tacky mat can help me here again. This time I'm sitting it on top of the card and I'm lining up all of the hearts where I think I want them to go. Once it looks good, I'll add foam squares, flip it over, and once again use that corner as a guide. Press everything down, peel away the tacky mat, and look, all of my hearts are perfectly aligned. I love it. These 2 cards are almost done. I just need some more stuff on them. Time to pull out the inks and sprays. I usually go with just white, gold, or clear shimmer, but this time I'm also splattering colorful hues. I'll splatter pink over the pink cards, followed by orange, green, and blue in the same manner. Because I was impatient and didn't wait for each layer to dry, a couple blobs kind of mixed in a weird way, so I'm just using a paper towel to blot those up, and now they're pretty dang cute. With all this going on, something is still missing though. They need a sentiment. And I want to do more stash busting, so I pulled out these sticker books. Lots of alphabet stickers and also my favorite sentiment die set. I think I might have a couple already die cut in here that I can burn through. These sentiments are somewhat delicate, so I'm changing the applicator tip on my glue bottle to this needlepoint one. It works quite nicely for these scripty words. After attaching it, I added a sub-sentiment from the sticker book and secured it with foam adhesive. You may have thought my cards were done, but nope. I'm going for bling. I'll add the sentiment and bubble bling to the other cards too. And now, my friends, it is time. I have a couple more samples to share with you and of course lots of beauty shots. Everything I used is listed in the video description box for you, as well as some other info you might find useful. Please leave any comments or questions in the comment box, as I do check back and answer regularly. Thanks for spending your crafty time with me. I hope to see you again soon. Until then, stay crafty.